Hey everybody, it's Caleb Hoffman, and this is the Midseason Core Admin Update. I'm here with WhatiF and DriveThrough as we're going to kind of update everybody on some big mid-season changes that's going to affect the rest of Season 2 and beyond. So, WhatiF, you want to go ahead and elaborate on our first change?
Yep, the first change we all collectively thought of was to include stage racing in the remainder of the season. Now, there's two reasons why we're having stage racing. One is to try to mitigate and minimize the pit road issues on a green flag stop. This has not only happened to me 3 times, it's happened to Sloppy Joe, it's happened to WinVal, it's happened to even DriveThrough in the past races. And because of those mistakes that are completely out of the driver's hands, just spread out the field even more, and it's just really broken. So that's one way to fix it. The other one is to bring the field more closer together for a more fun race and everything. So that was the decision for that. And if you're thinking about anything about stage points or anything like that, that will not be implemented this season because it's just kind of too far late to do that. So that isn't going to be a thing. But stage racing, I feel like it's going to be a lot better of a race, and it won't be so super duper strung out like we've had in the last couple of races. So it should make things a little bit more better, not only for the drivers, because even the drivers were saying this, even Sloppy, even myself, and people. So I feel like this will be a lot better to do.
Yeah, it's a really good change in terms of just what we've gotten as feedback and what we've observed throughout the year. Stage racing was it was the best choice out of anything else in terms of shortening races or anything like that. So I feel like we made a good move with the stages. I'll go into another announcement that we have. So for Bristol tomorrow night, the Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage Night Race, we're going to have a special guest in the booth with us. So it'll be MDK and Workman as per usual, but joining the broadcast will be Ryan Vargas. That's right, the Rhino is going to be in the booth for Bristol. It's going to be exciting and fun to watch the three of them together. Huge thanks to Vargas for coming in and agreeing to do a core race, do the broadcast. That's going to be great. DriveThrough, you want to go ahead and elaborate on our third change?
Yeah, I'm really excited for that booth, by the way. I'm so glad that Vargas is on board and following the core. That's going to be a good time. So definitely tune into that. It'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. is the race start. Pre-race show is going to be a little bit before that. It's going to be a good time. That being said, one extra little tidbit of announcement. You're probably wondering why I'm here. We've had a few changes in the core this week. Following the race at Michigan, unfortunately, Jarrett Lundberg, the Iceberg, and Darian Gillum, Black Flags Matter, have both stepped down from their admin roles as part of the core, as founders of the core. We're really thankful for everything they've done, bringing the community together. I mean, before the core, it was just a bunch of YouTubers kind of doing their own thing. And now, bringing everyone together has sort of enabled things like the Bristol thing and the Homestead experience and the whole community coming together as a whole. So unfortunately, Jarrett has just stepped away from the core entirely. So he won't be racing or participating or adminning, but still did a wonderful job setting the season up. Darian stepped down from the admin role. He's still going to be racing. He's still going to be a part of the action. I think he's still going to be streaming, having a good time with us. And I have taken over his role as an admin. So the admin team is now myself, along with Caleb, WhatiF, and Ed Soundhead still. And I'm really thankful to be given this opportunity. I'm really excited. It's going to be a little bit of a transition period, especially with a few new rules, new admins, new responsibilities for me, really. But I'm really excited for, I guess, a new chapter in the core and what I can bring and hopefully just have some fun, have a good time racing. Additionally, in terms of driver changes this week, as you might have seen on Twitter, Rawgator announced that he's not going to be racing full-time, sort of stepping away indefinitely, but he's still involved with the core. and he may still return later. Not really sure. And Dale Reynolds, last year's champion. Unfortunately, his work schedule just doesn't allow him to run the core, and he's getting really busy. I think he's still going to run the race tomorrow night, but it may be his final core race of the season. Still have a pretty big field, still going to have a lot of fun, and with stages, I think there's going to be some fantastic racing, especially over at Bristol.
Yeah, to go back to the admin shift real fast, you know, really excited to bring DriveThrough along because he's just so good at this stuff, man. Also, just big thanks to Jarrett, big thanks to Darian. You know what they did, what they have done. You know, so far in season 2 and laying the foundation in season 1 is it's such a huge thing. You know, they help so much, and they've really helped bring the entire community together, and we won't forget their roles in that. They're just stepping away from season 2. As DriveThrough said, Darian's still going to be driving. I see questions about that. He's still going to be driving. He's still going to be, you know, part of the fun, just having a great time. So.
Yeah, I think we're going to prove over the next little course of races that this is still a great show we're here to put on and still going to have some fun. I'm excited. I think there's a lot of cool new things we can work on. Just tighten up the core a little bit and just work from this wonderful base that these guys have worked so hard over these past years to create for us.
Also, one of the things too with DriveThrough being a part of this is just more closer just driver communication from the admins to the drivers and everything. I feel like that's one thing that has been getting better, but that's another emphasis that we want to kind of put on too, is making sure that the drivers know like what's going on, and if there is any changes, we're going to talk to them first about that before we make any changes. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, we're just trying to increase sort of communication, understanding across the board, doing stuff like this. We're talking directly to you about what's going on. And with that, if we're done with the news, we'll start a sort of Q&A session, because I know this will probably bring up a lot of questions, but we're here to answer everything, just be entirely transparent with you guys and just clear all the air. So if you have some questions for us, throw them in the chat. Hopefully some, you know, fresh ideas and not the same thing over and over, but Caleb will go through it.
One thing I did want to note real fast, I see a bunch of people in the chat asking about it. So Eric Eastep, he hasn't left core. He's still a part of the community. It's just he has, you know, job opportunities and stuff that's just in the grand scape of his life is so much bigger than core. So he's not stepped down. He's just taking a leave for this season, and he'll be back next year. The Core Pro Bowl, we'll go ahead and elaborate on that. The Core Pro Bowl, so the schedule has been shaken up a little. I know, DriveThrough, you have the schedule for it. I don't know if I'm going to link it in chat or anything like that, but we made some minor altercations to the schedule. The Core Pro Bowl is going to have, it's just going to be gone, pretty much. Iowa is moving back a week. Iowa and Atlanta are moving back a week just to, you know, make room for the 500.
Yeah, really convenient for you guys. I think you'll like this. I put together a little Google Calendar. So all you got to do is hit the link. You can subscribe to it and throw it in your phone, and you're going to have all the dates, all the times, all the locations for the races in the season. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really useful. We made a few schedule changes, pretty much Thursday nights. Darlington in a couple weeks is going to be a Sunday night. Everything else will be Thursdays, and there's an off week for the Daytona 500. It's pretty straightforward. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna throw a little link in chat if you're interested in following along. I think it's really cool. I'm quite proud of it.
One reason the schedule was kind of just altered, just so it's on a more regular schedule, is just because there were some days where it was like on Monday, then there was ones on but there was one at Monday at 2 in the afternoon, then there was one at like Friday. So having it just be consistent like Thursday is just easier, not only for the drivers to remember, but for people watching remember as well.
Another question that I saw that I wanted to, so can we have stage racing in every race from here on? That is the plan. Stage racing is here to stay. It's not gonna be just for Bristol only or for a certain race only. It's here to stay. So there will be stage racing in every race from here on out.
Yeah, and I see a few guys asking about stage points. We're not going to be giving out stage points simply because we don't want to, go halfway through the season and make future races worth more points. We don't want to basically give out more points in the second half of the season than the first half. Stages is really just giving drivers an opportunity to learn the track, learn the way it drives, and not get a whole race ruined because of an early pit stop mishap, even if it was like entirely not their fault. So it's exciting.
Now does that mean there will be no stage points for season 3? That is to be determined, but for this season, it is not the case here.
So right now, our whole mindset is just get into a swing of consistency. So we're not making any huge points changes or making any huge schedule changes that would affect the entire outcome of the season right now. Towards season 3, that's probably when you're going to see some of the bigger changes make their mark. But as of right now, it's just making sure we're consistent, making sure we're listening to feedback, and just changing that.
Smoke Skull Racing asks, will Core have a developmental league? It's hard, really, as a league of creators. We tried it in the past. It didn't really work out. It's not something we're really looking to do in the near future. We tried it. It didn't work. We gave it its chance. And I guess you could say we're still looking for more creators. But we're also trying to keep the racing product really, really good, and just working with the drivers that we have right now, I think, until the end of the season. But, again, big changes might happen between season 2, season 3. That's still a long way away.
Another question I'm seeing asked is, why did Jarrett and Darian leave? So Darian and Jarrett both left because they have the weekly podcast to take care of. They have to help schedule that. There's not enough time to balance in both of those factors. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's a pretty big responsibility running the league, organizing the drivers, social media.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of gears to keep this machine moving, and for those guys, I think it just became too much midway through the season, which is unfortunate. But I'm excited to sort of jump in and test the waters a little bit. Should be fun.
Yeah, another thing too is just we kind of want to continue to update the site and keep things a little more consistent, because even when I'm like racing, I look at chat sometimes and I've always see people wondering what's going on or what's even the points or anything like that, and even stats, like we're trying to get that back together because Jarrett removed them and like to completely scrap them all, so we're trying to build that back up and everything. So that's another thing too that we want to really try to get more consistent, just more of the site being regularly updated. And I feel like that would just be better just for people to know what's going on, and even just the points and just everything like that. So we're trying to want to do that more too. So that's just another plan.
Another question I'm seeing asked is, could we see an Xbox Core League in the future? Right now, no plans, but that could change if we, get the right things moving. All right.
Yeah, sticking to PS4 for now. It's what we all have. A lot of people, some people even got a PS4 for this league, so it would make sense to stick with it for now. But yeah, even like a day after I jumped into the admin role, I was just thinking, like, damn, there's a lot of things to do and a lot of things that Darren and Jared were doing. Like counting laps to see who led how many laps in a race, because you can't get like just a stat dump from Heat 4. Stuff like the tweets after races, before races, getting the points out. There are a lot of things to do, and I completely understand why they would have had to back out at this point.
Yeah, I don't know if just behind the scenes, it just doesn't get enough love. Everything with the points is completely done manually. And, big props to Jarrett, big props to Dan, big props to MDK for, getting the points out like within 30 minutes of the race ending, because that's just that's so much work, and to do it in like 30 minutes it's really unbelievable how fast they could do it. We got a big shoes to fill. So.
Oh, for sure. Running the practice races, just getting like invites out to the drivers, setting up the lobbies. There's a lot, but hopefully this transition is going to go over pretty smoothly, and we can get back to just putting on a show and having some fun on the track. Could it be a PC core? It's similar to the Xbox thing. A lot of people don't have like gaming ready PCs. Plus, if we were playing on PC, I don't know if heat would be the right thing to use, but I'm not going to get too much into that. We're going to stick to PS4 for now. This is just a little mid-season update. Nothing drastic, but it's just, small stuff like stage racing, a little admin change, and any other questions we can answer.
Yeah, we're going to start wrapping up the Q&A, so get your last questions in.
So yeah, if you have anything, even if you think of something when the stream's over, feel free to just tweet at the core on Twitter at the core league. One of the big points I wanted to make is just more transparent communication. We want to be talking to you guys, let you know exactly what's going on, talking to the drivers, getting their input on future rule changes, feedback, all sorts of stuff. A good question from Workman. Will this be the greatest core booth of all time? I tell you what, I don't want to say yes, because I think me and Sloppy was a pretty damn good booth, but I think it'll be great. Ryan Vargas in the core booth, that's huge news. I think it's going to be hilarious. I think it's going to be really cool, really fun. Definitely one you don't want to miss, especially like prime time Friday night at Bristol under the lights. It's going to be a good show for sure.
Dude, I mean, it's Friday night core at Bristol. You get the Bristol night race, and you got Ryan Vargas in the booth with MDK and Workman. Like, how can you go wrong? It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Plus, with the stages, we're going to have some great close racing. We know how much fun Bristol is in this game. I think we're going to see a lot of action for sure.
Those stage finishes, man. Woo.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be testing, dude. 250 laps. Oh, boy. It's going to be tough.
My thumb's already hurt thinking about it.
So, if that's it on questions, and I believe it is, thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's like the middle of the day on a Thursday, but I'm glad you're all here hanging out with us, just chatting away. It's good to see you. It really is. And I hope you guys are as excited as we are about racing tomorrow night. With that, I think this broadcast can come to an end. Thanks for tuning in again. I know I said it already. I appreciate it. I really do. You fans are what make this machine roll. And any more questions, send them on Twitter or at me at DriveThrough, because I can do things now. So thanks to What If. He's over there. Thanks to Caleb for coming out, hanging out. And we'll see you all tomorrow night. Pre-race show, I think, is 7:30 Eastern. Green flag at 8 p.m. It's going to be a great time. Ryan Vargas in the booth. Stage racing. Tons of action. Bristol under the lights. Be there. Thank you, guys.